Have you ever trusted someone so much that you couldn't imagine they'd ever betray you? This is the story of two best friends, Adaku and Ngozi, and how jealousy turned their friendship into sorrow. Adaku and Ngozi grew up together in a peaceful African village where everyone knew one another. They were inseparable, two best friends who shared everything. They went to school together, fetched water together, and even dreamed about building a better life side by side. After finishing secondary school, both decided to start a business. Jobs were hard to find, and the village market was always busy. They agreed it was time to chase their dreams. One afternoon, they sat under the big mango tree near Adaku's house. "I'm thinking of opening a restaurant," Adaku said excitedly. "You know I love cooking, and people always say my food tastes good." Ngozi smiled. "That's a nice idea. As for me, I will sell fruits. Everyone eats fruits. Oranges, bananas, pineapples. We'll both make money." The two friends laughed and made a promise to always support each other. A few months later, both businesses opened. Adaku's small restaurant quickly became the pride of the village. She had painted it with bright colors and decorated it with flowers. But what made people love her place wasn't just the look. It was her food. The smell of Adaku's cooking filled the air every day. People would follow the aroma of her stew, her jollof rice, and her pepper soup straight to her door. She was not only a great cook, but also a beautiful young woman with a cheerful smile and a curvy figure. Customers loved her energy and kindness. Before long, Adaku's restaurant was always full. She made good money and even started saving for expansion. Meanwhile, Ngozi's fruit store was struggling. She would sit by her small table with baskets of oranges and pineapples, watching as everyone passed by to eat at Adaku's place. Her fruits remained unsold, and she started to feel invisible. At first, Ngozi was happy for her friend. She would visit Adaku's restaurant, eat free food, and tell her how proud she was. But with time, things changed. She began to notice how men admired Adaku, how customers praised her, and how busy she always was. One evening, Ngozi sat alone beside her empty fruit store. The market was quiet, and she could hear laughter from Adaku's restaurant across the road. She clenched her hands in frustration. "Why her?" she muttered bitterly. "We started together. We planned together. Yet, she is the one shining, while I'm here with rotten fruits." Her heart became heavy with jealousy. That night, she lay awake thinking of what to do. She didn't want to harm Adaku, but she wanted to stop seeing her succeed so easily. Then a wicked idea came to her mind. "I'll make her eat," she whispered. "Let her eat and never get satisfied. Then she will eat all her food before the customers come. She won't make sales again." The thought made her feel powerful. For the first time in months, she smiled to herself. The next morning, Ngozi visited an old woman known in the village for making special charms. She greeted her respectfully and explained her plan. "Mama, I have a friend who sells food. I don't want to hurt her, but I want her to keep eating her food and never get full. Just something small to make her lose focus." The old woman looked at her sharply. "You call that not harmful? Be careful, my daughter. When you dig a pit for another, you may fall into it yourself." But Ngozi was determined. "I just want her to keep eating, that's all." The old woman sighed, then went inside and brought out a small necklace with a shiny bead at the center. "Give her this," she said. "Tell her never to remove it. As long as she wears it, her hunger will never end. She will keep eating but never feel full." Ngozi smiled. "Perfect. Thank you, Mama." She paid the woman and left, hiding the necklace carefully in her bag. The next day, Ngozi visited Adaku with a bright smile and a basket of fruits. "My sister," she shouted as she entered the restaurant, "you are now the queen of food. Customers everywhere." Adaku laughed. "Ngozi, stop teasing me. Sit down, let me serve you rice." As they ate, Ngozi brought out the necklace and said sweetly, "I saw this and thought of you. You've been working so hard and I want you to have something to remind you of our friendship. Promise me you will never take it off." Adaku's face lit up. "Ngozi, this is so beautiful. Thank you. I'll never take it off, I swear." She hugged her friend tightly, not knowing she had just accepted her own misfortune. At first, everything seemed normal, but after a few days, Adaku noticed something strange. Whenever she finished cooking, she felt a strong urge to eat. She would taste a spoon of soup, then another, then another. Soon she couldn't stop. She ate everything, rice, beans, soup, as if she hadn't eaten in days. Even after eating large portions, she still felt hungry. At first, she laughed about it. Maybe I'm just tired," she said to herself. But it kept happening. Customers would come, and she would tell them, "Sorry, food has finished." They thought it was a joke, but it wasn't. Every day she cooked, and every day she ate everything before customers arrived. Soon, people started talking. Adaku would eat her business one day, they joked. But it was no longer funny to her. She was losing customers, money, and even her peace of mind. She began to grow bigger and slower. Her clothes no longer fit, and her once beautiful figure changed. Her fiancé grew distant and finally left her, saying he couldn't understand her strange eating habits. Adaku cried almost every night. She didn't understand what was happening. She thought it was stress or maybe sickness. She went to the clinic, but the nurse said she was fine. Still, she couldn't stop eating. Through it all, Ngozi pretended to be the supportive friend. She visited Adaku often, hugging her and saying kind words. "Don't worry, my dear. It's just a phase. You will be fine." But deep inside, she was pleased. Her fruit store was now getting more customers. People who stopped eating at Adaku's restaurant came to her instead. Yet, as the days went by, she started feeling a small pinch of guilt. She hadn't expected things to go so far. Sometimes, she saw Adaku sitting alone, crying. She wanted to say the truth, but couldn't. Her heart was divided between guilt and satisfaction. Months passed. Adaku's restaurant became quiet and empty. The tables were dusty, and the chairs stacked in the corner. She had eaten all her food, all her profits, and all her savings. She was tired, ashamed, and confused. One afternoon, she sat outside her shop crying softly. Then an elderly woman passing by stopped and looked closely at her. "My daughter," the elderly woman said gently, "why are you crying?" Adaku sniffed and wiped her tears. "Mama, I don't know what is wrong with me. I can't stop eating.